tell them it's the Bougie Show. The Bougie Show, yeah, 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 yeah. Turn up.
We're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Bougie Show. I am Zay the DJ, and across from me is a bona fide freak. I told y'all we were going to keep them coming. Those beautiful women. We got several requests for her interview, a Midwest native residing out of Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, the former X-Biz MILF of the Year. It's the MILF next door, the one you've been waiting for. Miss Lila Lovely is in the building. Thank you for joining us, Miss Lovely.
Thank you for having me.
How was your commute here? Where did you come from?
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Okay, all right. That's not too bad. Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. You became an adult performer much older when doing your than the average female.
Definitely.
The pros and cons of joining the industry at 35.
Okay, so I've already lived a full life at that point, so I have a lot of life experience, been through lots of scenarios.
Right.
I'm not as naive, but then again, I'm from the Midwest, and I'm still a little bit naive.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I knew nothing about this industry getting into it.
Wow.
Zero. I didn't even watch anything. It really randomly came into my life.
You, being that you were a full-grown woman and fully aware of the decision you made, what did your friends and family have to say about that?
It was a very gradual thing.
Okay.
I only had select people that I talked to, but I did start traveling like immediately. Like I was living in San Diego and I was flying out to Miami like within 6 months of doing this. So I started to tell like my mom just in case something would happen. I'm like, I'm just, I'm in Miami. And
In Miami doing what? No, I mean, you're telling her
I was
what?
telling her, I'm trying to think, I was telling her more like plus size modeling.
Okay.
That was kind of my like thing for a while there, and
Okay.
I was kind of able to like do that for a minute.
So the actual becoming, okay, so you're doing plus size modeling. That's what you told her, but that's not what you were
Correct.
actually doing. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you,
That was my
did you get an
cover
agent?
story.
How did you know how to collabs? What were you doing? Were you reaching out?
I've never had an agent.
So how did you pick up how did you build your brand, your name, and how did you get the collaborations going?
It just happened organically for me. I don't even know. It just really happened organically and feel very lucky.
Does do you do the reaching out or do the male performers reach out to you? How does this work? Both. Okay, so it's both ways. Okay. All right. Did any of your ex-husband contact you after discovering you became an adult film star?
No, he really hated me for a good period of time.
What about ex-lovers?
There was like some like exes that like got in the DMs and stuff, but nobody like made it super weird. And I think
You responded to them?
Yeah.
did?
But nobody made it really weird. I think people maybe like were intimidated more so to approach me about it.
Did being a massage therapist for all those years make the transition to adult film industry that much better for you?
Yes,
It did.
I've always been really comfortable as a body worker around naked bodies. I'm not like, ooh, you know what I mean? I'm just not like shock and awe. So I'm just like comfortable being nude and like, I don't know. It's just an extension of body work.
You still do massage? You still do massages?
Not necessarily, no. I did for quite some time, but the last few years I've really tapered it off.
Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. Well, I'll let the audience in on a little bit. I spoke with her. I asked her because I wanted to confirm if she referred to herself as a BBW because I was going to ask this question, but she said no. She more, since losing the weight, you more embraced the MILF role.
Sure.
So, but I can still ask you this: since you're no longer a BBW, do you think there will ever be a BBM?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a big, beautiful man.
Oh, there are.
In the industry? As a performer, like
there's
successful?
Big BHM, big heavy man.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, there are a few people that identify as that.
I don't see him. How come I don't see nobody?
Well, it's not in your algorithm.
But you would think BBWs would work with would you say BHM? Big heavy
not
man?
necessarily.
No, because it doesn't look good for camera?
Oh, I don't know.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know.
Stop the fuckery.
I
It is
know.
time to stop the fuckery.
So 2, 3 50-pounders wouldn't work?
I mean, I've worked with big heavy
Call
men.
that the
When I
double
was
whopper. Go ahead,
when I
sorry.
was heavy, I definitely embraced it because I was like, I'm just like an average chick, so I thought it was cool to work with like average dudes too. So people were like, I can really relate to that.
Have you ever when you were BBW, did you ever been intimate with somebody that same size as you?
Yeah.
You had? And what was that experience like?
Pros and cons. It depends on like the level of belly, and then sometimes it's like really covering like the junk, and then that starts to disappear, and then that becomes an issue.
For filming purposes.
For filming and just like for
recreational, also.
Just for life purposes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the bellies is hard to get like a full stroke.
Correct.
Okay.
And then it starts to kind of like
clapping under me.
Woo.
Well, you actually, I'll give you your flowers now. You actually look better in person than you do online. I said, let me see, because I'm looking at the angle and I'm like, she's. Then when I saw you, I was like, you actually. But I think a lot of the stuff when I saw was with you with more weight. So now that you're healthier.
Yes, I actually have always gotten that remark.
Yeah. Well, that's but no, I'm like, yeah, because I saw you lost weight, but then I'm like, I guess when I was preparing for your interview, you done some older interviews where you were heavier, I think it was something, and I think I was watching that to learn about you. That's how I learned about you being married and all that, and you were significantly bigger. So I think that was what's set in my head. So when I saw you coming here, I'm like, wow,
a different person.
Applaud her. Lila Lovely in the building. What's your routine? I mean, how active do you shoot right now, as of now?
So like, as far as hardcore scenes.
You don't do any major production, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I recently shot with Brazzers in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw you with the bald head guy. What's his name? Green? Willie? What's his name?
Alex Jones?
No, it's a black, dark-skinned guy, bald head. I saw.
Will Tile.
Yeah, Will Tile. You guys were doing, like, what were you doing? Were you lay him on the mat? I saw it on your Twitter when I was
that was
preparing.
a massage, like sex vid.
Okay,
yeah.
so you starts out with the massage. I think Alex Fox. What's her name?
Alexis Fox.
Alexis Fox. She does the same thing with the massage thing?
Yes, I did one with her as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do it with the female, what happens?
Strap-on happens.
She straps you?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's really popular, huh?
It is. I wish it was more popular. I wish the guys, they express that they're really into the girl scenes, but monetarily, they don't buy those as much.
Because they want to see you guys. I think I was interviewing Haley Davis in California. She was like, my girl doesn't sell as much. They want to see me get D down. And I think that's what it is. They'll pay for the penetration, but they're not. Yeah.
So it's.
So when you do the, what you say the dude's name, the male performer's name?
Will Tile.
Will Tile. When you, how often, what leads to that scene? Like, is that more on your end and you've created that layout, or is that a production company?
That's backed by like a media production company, so it's very organized on the way they do that. So yeah.
But most of the work, the content you create is for yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you subjected to anything as while being a performer that you didn't see coming, particularly with the major production sets?
Because everything was kind of unexpected. I didn't know what to expect getting into this. I honestly knew nothing about this industry, so I got really lucky when I first started working for big companies. My first big company was Score. And I was coming out here and shooting for them, and they had a big studio, it was beautiful. Multiple sets. It was an amazing, probably one of my best set experiences was really early on.
So you weren't subjected to anything where you had to overcome, like, for instance, I was speaking to a performer earlier today, and she said, she had to do a BJ for an hour because lack of erection from the male performer. So every time the camera, you say, oh no, he ain't going for that.
It is time to stop the fuckery.
So there's nothing you ever had to, like, I didn't see this coming and then I had to, like, improvise to finish the job, anything like that? No?
No, and I don't think people, like, try to play me like that. Also,
I
don't come off as a young, naive, girl, so I don't think they're trying to, like, I think I can get one over on this one,
But it's a shame that happens also, by the way.
It is. There's definitely been like some weird instances that haven't been great. It's not been perfect, but yeah.
Okay. We'll still stick with the scenes. Your most embarrassing moment while filming? And it could be humorous, embarrassing. I actually prefer, but whatever your preference is, you share.
I had a little oopsie doing anal at one point.
You okay.
Yeah,
Dred did it for me. Those things happen.
It happened, and I like ran off set. And when it was luckily it was during like a really big like orgy scene, so it like nobody knew. I'm announcing it because
that's 100. We'll applaud you for keeping it real.
That's the only thing that I can really think of that like stands out in my mind like in the last like 4 or 5 years.
Wow. I didn't realize, because, when I'm looking at, I didn't know that you did that much main. I thought you were more like independent, more on the content creator side. I didn't realize you.
Both.
Okay.
Both, yeah. Okay. So I would say I probably shoot maybe like 4 mainstream company shoots a year.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
So you're selective? Or do they holler at you and then you say they meet your demands? When they want, okay, got it. Have you had to, have you taken any younger performers under your wing, or you kind of stay isolated?
Oh, like
I took a liking to this person, I'm gonna share my knowledge with you, what I've learned, that type of thing. No?
A little bit here and there, but I've kind of found that like bites you in the butt in the end. I just stay to myself. Yeah, I'm not afraid to like share information with others, but I'm not trying to be like a mentor.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Your most memorable scene?
Probably some of my Bradzer scenes. Those are always so wild. Their scenarios are just
And
crazy.
that consists of the MILF role with those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. One scene, I was wearing a prosthetic belly for a pregnant belly.
Okay.
And
stop the fuckery.
It is time to stop the fuckery.
That was wild in itself. And then the scenario was, my man was in the bedroom. I bent over and I was really horny.
I think I saw that clip. Not that I was.
Yeah, I was really horny and I squirted.
You squirted?
I squirted, but he thought my water broke.
Okay.
But then it became this whole squirty water. Then they were like, wait, no, she's not in labor. She's just really horny.
Okay,
and then I was like squirting all over the place. And Katie Cush was there, and she had the stretcher out, and then the EMTs were fucking, and I was fucking. It was wild. It was wild. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a memorable scene. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay. I read in an older interview that you worked with Shane Diesel and his massive jock. We know what I mean by that. Had you experienced that type of package prior to joining the industry?
No, not to that extent.
Okay.
No.
All right. And also, did you keep up with him after he retired?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He shared Isaiah Maxwell when I interviewed him in California last time. I asked him, has he ever been with somebody that he didn't feel anything, like kind of going into an ocean. He said, yeah, I came after Jack Napier and Shane Diesel on a scene, and he was like, those dudes, he said he just went boom, right? So I tagged Shane, and he actually retweeted it on his thing. So you're actually cool with him?
Yes,
does
very much so.
He's completely out, or he does his own content? What does he do?
He does his own thing. He's definitely got his own like he's fucking hot wives. Like guys are hitting him up to fuck their wives all the time.
That's that cuck stuff, right?
Yeah, and he's
so
just
he's making a living over that.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Where does he reside now? Is he on the West Coast?
He's in Vegas.
Oh,
Vegas and LA. I know he was working for the airline for LAX for a long time. I don't know if
this is prior to being a performer?
No.
There's no way. There's no way.
During the whole time. Yes. Yes.
I know he had to get recognized.
Exactly.
And they didn't realize. Now, let me ask you this. Say, because this is the double standards that I'm talking about. All right. So the male is like, oh, cool. Now, say Lila Lovely wanted to go be a stewardess at the airline. Are you even getting hired? And then if they find out who you were in the past life, are you getting cut? You see how for the man, I'm just being real about that.
These are very real questions.
Well, I definitely want to bring. Somebody, matter of fact, tagged us yesterday and asked, could we interview him? So I'm going to try.
He just interviewed me at AVN.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, he's interviewing?
Yeah.
He's
been trying to put together a documentary for the last few years. But I was just coming off an elevator and he grabbed me and I was like, oh yeah, do an interview.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that off the bucket list for the Bougie Show. I heard that you say. I heard you say that you went backdoor with him.
Yeah, I did.
You did anal?
I did.
How was that even possible?
I just was really turned on by him, and it just, I don't know. His dick doesn't get super hard. It's almost like it's big, but it's soft. So it's malleable. So do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm
right.
Yeah.
It's not rock is what you're saying.
And usually those guys with those big dicks,
it's hard to get that blood to flow through there like that.
Well, and they know how to work with it.
Okay.
They're not
You took the whole thing?
Yeah.
In both roles?
Yeah.
Jesus. Have you worked with Dredd?
No.
Does he do?
I don't do anal on film anymore.
Okay.
I cut it off.
But he still does the kitty cat though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've been thinking
Okay.
about that one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
What about Brick?
I've also
He was here
considered
yesterday.
That one. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. You ever seen him in person?
Yeah.
Oh man, Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. You ever had somebody get the best of you while performing on camera, and you're like, I'm gonna need my get back next time we perform?
Not necessarily that I need to get my get back, but noted. I don't know if I need to shoot with you.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It is
What
time
happened?
to stop the fuckery.
Jonathan Jordan,
Okay.
for sure.
Why?
For sure. Just hard and fast and big. It was just overwhelming.
Yeah, I
it
know.
was like
Which is
take
a
your
shame.
breath
That's
away.
crazy.
Nah, but he's more of a lover. He's not like a jackhammer kind of guy. He's not like, he's
Yeah, I
more,
know Jonathan.
Yeah.
So you tapped out or?
I didn't tap out, but it was like I already wasn't. I think I honestly was probably on my period too.
Oh,
so
so
I was
you're-
already sensitive, and then that, and it was just a multitude of things.
I think there was a young lady. I think her name was Violet Gems, and she was saying that was her first encounter with the BBC, and she was saying, I'll never forget it. She was like, he has a curve. Does that make it? I interviewed Nikki Sweet Vicky, and she was saying one performer she's used to curves going upward, his went downward, and she wasn't used to that.
I heard her say that.
Okay.
I don't think he necessarily has a curve. I think some of those guys that are like, especially the ones that are like very like thin and fit.
Yeah, the slim-
and then they just have this like arm, like forearm.
Yeah.
It is just like that can be really jabby
Do you
and like
think
hit your cervix, and you're just like, oh my god.
So you're not a size.
I am.
You are.
I am, but it just
Certain sizes.
turns on the tempo. You got to get your tempo right, and you got whatever.
But you wouldn't come home to that type of package daily.
I would have. I mean, if we had a good rhythm with it and stuff, like I can take it and
Right.
it can be good. Yeah.
Right.
So
What does your chain say? Love you? What does that say?
Lovely.
Lovely. Oh, let me applaud that. Oh man. Wow. I have so many questions for you. So that Jonathan Jordan, was that a collab or was that a production? Oh, that was a collab.
it was a collab.
So
like 2
I
years ago.
want to pull up a tweets that I want to ask you about the two performers recently. So there's a young lady by the name of Lily Bell in California. We interviewed her on the show before, right?
Okay.
And she tweeted, and I want to get your perspective on it. And I'm not gonna say PUSSY. I'm not gonna say that word, but I'll say vagina or coochie or something like that. Ice your vagina. Just like an athlete would ice a body part after a game/practice. We are sexual athletes, so if your vagina is so sore after a scene, ice it, ! My favorite way to do it is when I'm driving for at least 20 to 30 minutes so I can sit my vagina directly on the ice pack. I wish I would have started doing this in the beginning of my career when I was working back to back, but I just discovered this within the last 2 years and it's really helped me. Your thoughts?
If I was shooting back-to-back scenes and like going hard like that, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, duh, you're going to get sore. You're going to get inflamed. You need to ice it down, bring that inflammation down.
Do you
Yeah.
a young lady we had in here last night, she was talking about aloe and also Queen Rogue, who also plays the MILF role. Aloe, natural aloe, is that something you do to bring?
No, because I really am not shooting. I'm not
Okay,
really
gotcha,
doing
gotcha. That type
scenes
of-
to that extent.
Okay.
But if I were, that's a great little tip for the ladies.
Okay. Yeah, but the reason I've asked that is because I don't think the audience quite understands how much sacrificing you guys do to your body.
Oh yeah, because we're performers.
Yes.
It's not. I mean, it's a performance. It's
Right.
not what we're just doing in our bedroom at the end of the night. Some people are, but like I'm putting it all out there for the camera and for the fans, and I want to put on a nice show and a good performance that you guys are going to enjoy for quite some time and keep coming to it. So. And again, like me getting in shape and losing weight and getting stronger, I want to have the endurance to get through a scene. I don't want to be huffing and puffing and sweating, and you know what I mean? I want to look sexy and feel strong during the whole scene.
Now that you brought that up, what led you? Was there a moment of truth when you said, "Hey, I'm going to get healthier"?
I was just gradually, I was like, I've always been trying to lose weight. I think I just lost myself for a little while because I got into the BBW realm and I was getting paid to be fat and
you were content
eat,
with that?
and I was like, okay.
So you were basically that's like a linebacker for the NFL. Your job is to keep your weight up and perform.
Yeah. So, hard to say no
A
to
lineman.
that for
I think
a
I said lineman. I don't know
while.
if I said linebacker. Sorry.
Yeah. And then I was just like, that's enough of that, And I'm not a spring chicken, so I'm getting older.
And health is wealth. And so you feel better too, I'm assuming?
So much better. The best I've ever felt.
Best you've ever felt.
Yeah.
What does your workout consist of? Is it, what is your health, let's say your health plan, your strategy? Is it half eating and half working out, or you spend more time exercising than anything?
Yeah, it's, definitely the eating is like 80% of it for sure.
That's great.
And so I get up early. I'm like usually up around 6, 7 in the morning, out the door by like 8 o'clock, I would say on average. And then I'm at the gym and I lift weights 5 days a week. And then I do a little cardio on top of that.
You ever got recognized in the gym?
Yeah.
What do they say something to you? They just
Sometimes.
do you get to stare?
Sometimes.
You don't wear a mask. I stopped wearing a mask recently, but after we lost the older YouTube channel, and I was like, I don't give a no more.
It's whatever. I'm out here. I'm a person.
Do you usually get approached, or you just get to stare?
I have like one particular person that comes to the gym and he's approached me, and I know he's on my OnlyFans. It'd be a little awkward.
Does he get creepy?
It's not creepy. It's just a little bit uncomfortable.
Because he doesn't say anything?
It's just a little awkward.
Would it make it more comfortable if you say, hey, Lila, I appreciate your work? Would that make it,
He has, but in kind of an awkward way. I'm sorry if he watches this.
No, you got to let him know.
But I did. I was like, look, I appreciate the love, like,
say
but
what's
like,
up and keep it moving.
I'm here, and this is kind of like my piece, and I'm so, that's cool that you're here, but let's just kind of keep it that. I don't know. It's hard. But you definitely get those looks of recognition
yes,
too.
Absolutely.
And you're like, okay, is he looking at me because I'm just a curvy woman, or is he recognizing me
you as the
from
performer,
the internet? I don't know.
I just don't like the just staring and don't say anything, especially from a man to another man, because now I'm not knowing what you're thinking.
Right, and then I'm like, oh,
I don't get the stares from the woman. I get the stares from the men doing this type of work.
I just try to stay like laser focused.
Yeah. All right, Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. Another performer that we interviewed on the West Coast, and I want to get your perspective on this, or your take on this. Lainey Gray said, I'm taking a much-needed break. I was tired of having to heal from my scenes. My body just can't handle all the bacteria anymore. Too many people coming to set with BV/yeast infections. Your response?
Yeah, that's a real thing as well. I mean, you have to be aware of your body chemistry. Your body is not always going to react positively to somebody else. You don't know what their diet is like or what they're doing. They might be just eating beef jerky and Mountain Dews.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. So, yeah, you have to just be aware of your body and listen to yourself and not just power through scenes and ignore things.
When you collaborate with a male performer in particular for the first time, what are you looking for?
Usually the male performers, I've noticed this pattern in myself. I usually go for men that have a nice film setup, that are really good at getting a nice multiple shots, that might even edit the scenes. Somebody that's like technically like intelligent, you know what I mean, as far as like that goes. Somebody that's professional, has a good look. I don't know.
Do you pay attention to how they perform?
Yeah.
Are you focused on if their awareness of the camera? This is something that was brought to my attention by Carmela Clutch. She said, man, I'm paying attention to see if you're aware of the camera, making sure you're not blocking the shots, things of that nature. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you pay attention if they use their penis as a weapon?
Yes.
And how do you recognize if they are doing
Well,
that?
you can just see. I mean, it's
It is time to stop the fuckery.
Pound Town Jackrabbit.
Yeah.
Right. What sexual acts won't Lila Lovely participate in?
Oh, okay.
You're no longer doing the back door, so we confirmed that.
Correct. And I have cut off cream pies and gum and mouth.
And you said money shots in the mouth?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You used to be a swallower, or you spit it back out?
Yeah, so I did everything going into it because, again, I knew nothing.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, everything's open. Let's just do it all.
Okay. And what made you stop being a swallower?
I'm in a relationship.
Oh, okay, got you. So I can understand it. Respect
there's
that,
certain things that you want to just keep to yourself. Again, and you don't know people's diets.
And cream pies, too. Is that because... does that knock off your balance, your chemical balance?
For sure. Yeah. And I think people need to be really aware of the political climate with that. Like, abortions aren't legal. So, if that happens, you have an oopsie, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, play that game with my womb.
Yeah, absolutely. Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. Have any of your peers advised you not to perform with certain people?
Yeah. I think I have a couple people that, that we talk and, I might say, hey, I'm thinking about working with this person. Have you heard anything? And they'll be like, all right, hold on. Let me get back to you. And oh yeah, I heard this or no, I think that person is cool. So
what's your red flag?
Right now, if you're a right wing,
so political. Okay, got you. All right.
I'm
talking about this as a performer.
Well, as a performer,
because you guys don't talk politics when you're.
Yeah, but that shows a lot about your character as a person to me.
So
I do look at that. That's not my main thing, but right now that's a hot thing. Okay. And
but as a performer.
I look at so many different things. I look at so many different things. I look at their social media, how they act. I like to do scenarios. I don't always like to just do real sex or gonzo sex. I do a lot of storylines. So I like to choose a lot of people that are down to do that as well.
Storyline, did you take a liking to that, or is that?
I love it.
Okay, and your audience also.
Yeah.
What do you think that they most appreciate about your content?
I think they love the role play aspect. I think they like to, a lot of times they don't even like to watch me with other people. They only like to watch my solo stuff because they like to just get lost in it's me and you.
Are you doing your OnlyFans? What's some of the crazy requests that you don't do?
I used to do a ton of fart content.
It is time to stop the fuckery.
A ton. And it was so popular.
And you stopped doing that?
I've cut it off, but now it's a premium.
Okay.
So,
it is time to stop the fuckery.
Right.
I've been doing it a minute. Those are precious
but
parts.
How do you
and worth a lot of money.
How do you don't just make yourself, what do? You prep yourself up for, okay, we're going to do fart time at 8 o'clock, so you eat certain food that's going to make you gassy? How does this work?
No. Okay, so the magic is I just, like an enema bulb, I take one of those, not full of just air, and just push air inside myself.
Okay.
And make myself.
Over 100 interviews, this is the first that I've heard that.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
You do humiliations or encouragements? What's your top seller?
Oh, gosh. Mommy. They either want me to be like their mommy and dominate them, or they want to see me dig down by a big black dick.
Baby.
So
okay, got you.
It's those are my main.
So interracial, mommy role. When you're doing the mommy role, what are you saying to them?
Ooh, different things. Sometimes.
Give me your go-to line.
Oh gosh. Well, sometimes the guys are submissive and they want me to play into that, you've been a naughty boy, mommy. Mommy needs to discipline you, and I'll work it into a JOI. Some guys want me to be very dominant, like a mommy dom. And get into even more discipline or more humiliation and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, Lila Lovely in the building. What does it require for Lila Lovely to reach the promised land of Climax? And I said that slow so you can finish your sip. Go ahead.
Clit
stimulation
okay. And penetration at the same. Yeah, I like both.
I was asking a performer yesterday, and I was like, when the female performer's rubbing the clitoris, I thought it was to stay moist, stay wet.
because they're drying up. I don't know. And she was like, no, it's kind of like get off at the same time.
That's how we.
Okay,
that's like us jacking off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our clit is like a mini.
You know, my barber, shout out to, well, I ain't gonna say his name, but he told me, he asked me, I told him we were doing an event this weekend. He was like, can you ask him what's that creamy stuff that be on when they're like during the penetration? I was like,
Yeah, that's our cum.
that is cum. Okay,
Right.
it's not just some cream from the kitty cat or something like that. It's
sometimes
actual
people
orgasm.
have like a yeast infection or
But it's not an
something like
orgasm.
that,
It is an
Yeah,
orgasm? Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
but
Yeah,
some people
now he
like
has his answer.
some people might squirt, some people might be more like creamy. Yeah.
I thought it was a cream, like a creamy, it looks creamy, but you're saying it's still the same
It
thing.
depends,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Just wanted to get that out of there.
Yeah.
Your
Good for the guys to know.
Yeah, your response to people that say sex workers don't do real work.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, yes.
It's more work than they think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did state that you work out and you're slimmer now than pre-COVID. How do you deal with a man that is solely enamored with your beauty and not so much with your personality?
Like as a fan or just like personally?
As say
like,
you're at the bar or you're at somewhere and they're just, God, you're so hot. Oh, you're.
Yeah, I'm irritated by that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
You appreciate the
flattered.
compliment, right?
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but if they're going on and on, it's I'm gonna start to get irritated, and then I'll probably get rude and a little bit mean.
When's the last time you had to cuss somebody out? Applaud her.
Yeah.
Is that the only piercing you have?
Currently, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I used to have my nipples pierced a long time ago.
You took it out?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But it was for stimulation, right?
No,
No,
no, it's just like aesthetic.
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
like,
okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You didn't, but you got sensation from it, right? Like, no, it didn't do anything for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it wasn't.
okay. So
Yeah.
it's just for the look then.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. How do you deal with stalkers? Since we talked a little bit about being recognized in public, I'm sure you've had a stalker. How do you?
I'm
go
very
about it?
direct.
Okay.
I'm very direct.
And you find that to be effective?
It has been. I haven't had anyone try to like come into my space and
Right.
and like but I've had uncomfortable online presence where they're like really trying to come to me and like. So
When you were more of the BBW role or now?
yeah, both.
Okay, both sides.
Yeah,
All right, all right.
both. I found that I have to keep boundaries when I'm chatting with my fans online and chatting with guys, because sometimes guys get a little confused on what's happening and they take it really seriously. Oh, she is really into me. Oh, she really loves me, and then so I have to just be careful with like the language I use and how much like care that I give them, because they will take it to another level.
So they become delusional. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I know there's a term for that, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll stick with that. The lamest thing a man has done to you on a date, or in general, it doesn't even have to be on a date. Where you're just like, this is so lame. You're so lame.
I had a really weird like first date with a guy before I even got into the industry, and we went to Morton's Steakhouse.
Okay. Yeah. So you spending some money. All right. Go ahead.
I got to the bar first, and he came there, and he was like, "Hey, I hope you don't think this is weird, but I told them that it's our anniversary."
It's time to stop the fuck.
I was like, "Oh."
But why did he do that? He wanted special treatment?
We got the menus had Mr. and Mrs. on the menu. We got special treatment. We got photographs. We got desserts. I mean, it was kind of funny, but it was.
Is that lame or is that weird? Because
It
that's
was weird.
That's weird.
It's
to the
weird,
T.
right?
First date ever?
First date ever.
And how'd you meet him?
Like, plenty of fish.
Bloody. What? Say it again.
Plenty of fish. POF.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Like a Tinder date.
Wow. I find it so funny. Like when I hear active performers say they go on Tinder and date people, I just think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Have you ever dated a performer?
No.
You recommend that to? Because I
It
usually
could
don't see it
work.
work when they're both like in their prime and in the mix.
When they're both in their prime.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, that's when the problems
Yeah.
I see happen. But Yeah, I mean, I know plenty of performers that are couples, but you might not even know about it, you know. So it could work. It could work for sure.
I had a young lady in here today, and she said she informed me because she's new to the industry. She's been in about 6 months, and she reached out to us and said, "Hey man, I really appreciate your interviews because I was skeptical about joining the industry, and I heard the performer speak, so I got more insight." Right. So there was not much for me to know about her prior to interviewing her, and she announced to me she was married and she had 2 children, and she is a young Caucasian woman, very petite. And she strictly does BBC, and the bigger better, and she's just full as she's worked with Brickzilla and everything, right? And she's just all about that. And her husband, a Caucasian man, is the one who films it. And I said, "Is he a cook?" And she said no, but I'm like, she even went to detail to say her husband told Brickzilla, "Listen, put her legs behind and put it all in." What do you think? I just want to know what you think, being that you're a veteran and you know how this goes. What do you think about that? He has he has to be enjoying it, right?
Yes.
Yes. I figured that.
They're both in denial about that.
Yes. Yeah.
And come on, give me a break. Give me a break.
It is time to stop the fuckery.
Literally.
Yeah,
Good for them. Embrace it. Don't be ashamed. That's cool. Plenty of people are down for that.
Right,
That's
right,
cool.
right.
That's
right,
cool.
Right. No. I just thought it was, I've interviewed another performer, and she said her husband does it, but I think he got a thrill out of it. But she was just saying, like, whatever. But yeah, I think there's some desire there to watch, because that's not the average man doesn't want to see Brickzilla up in their wife.
No.
So. What's the horniest thing a man has done in your presence?
Horniest. I don't know. I can't really think of an answer for that.
Nothing. You're like, God damn, this fool's horny. Nothing.
No, I'm sure there's something, but I can't think at the moment.
What does well, actually, before I go to that question, if you could take back one sexual act or scene in your adult career, what would that be?
There's a scene that I was drunk, and I wish I could.
You were drinking prior?
What? Yeah, I was wasted.
This was BBW era?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
it was.
You knew you were gonna. The whole goal was to get what?
No,
okay, how did this happen?
I was on location. I went up to Northern California to shoot a few scenes with a couple, and we had a house, and then I had gone out. Look, I'm from Wisconsin,
right.
So I like a little.
Yeah.
I like some cocktails.
Yeah.
I was really excited. I'm in Humboldt, and I was and I was drinking, and then I was just I was basically blacked out during.
This was
one of the. Then we did a threesome scene, and I'm just it's very cringe to me.
Was it a major production set?
Not at all.
Oh, it was just a collaboration.
So yeah.
Is that available to watch now?
It is. Yeah.
You want to say what it is?
No.
Hey, gentlemen, I did that because I know y'all gonna ask. Why didn't you ask what the scene was? So she didn't give it to you. So
it probably doesn't look that great.
Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. What about your sex game needs the most enhancing?
Maybe a little bit more enthusiasm. I've been doing it, and
game or.
No, I think I'm pretty good at the dirty talk and stuff, guys like that. But maybe I could be a little bit more energetic.
Okay. That's at this point of your career, you're saying that?
Yeah.
Okay. I know we spoke about Mr. Diesel, but I want to talk a little bit about vagina maintenance and the kitty cat getting its primary care, especially after performing with somebody like Shane Diesel. Mm-hmm. Prior and after, what do you do?
Nothing. There was zero prep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about a location you were sexually active and you never imagined in your wildest mind that would have happened at that particular place or location.
I've done some outdoor stuff before I got into all this. I was being like naughty online with people, meeting up with people and doing random shit.
Oh, you were promiscuous?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like I divorced, and then I had like a period of time where I was just kind of like.
Why is that? When women get divorced, they just say, "All right, I want to be promiscuous, and I just want to turn it up."
Because our needs are being met, or like we want to like. Sometimes you lose yourself within a relationship, and then you're like, I need to like bring it back to me. Like, what do I want? Like, you know what I mean?
Is there a rebellious factor in it? Okay.
A little bit, but it was more about me like discovering what I liked.
Okay.
I was like, all right, so like that marriage, that relationship didn't work out. So maybe I need to like start choosing some different types of men. Maybe I need to just like try out some different things. So that's kind of what I did for a few years. So yeah, I had some outdoor sex, like
stuff?
hiking.
Prior to performing, becoming a performer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're hiking, you're getting sweaty and
No, it was like
in the cold.
Yeah, it was like a cold in Midwest hike. Yeah,
You ever
we snuck off.
you ever had sex butt naked in the cold?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard for the man though because it's so cold to keep an erection in that cold.
It's exciting.
Well, I guess your box must have been really warm. Stop
Yeah,
the fuckery.
exactly. In my mouth.
Your mouth too, applauder, goddammit. What's Lila Lovely's go-to meal after a shoot?
Usually something carb loaded. Yeah.
Carb loaded.
Yeah.
Because you don't really eat prior.
No. Yeah.
So you want to get full after.
Yeah.
I had one girl say chicken wings today.
Yeah. I don't
also had
have like a
sushi.
major.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I love sushi. Sushi
Yeah.
would be a good one. But I was listening to another girl, and she was like, I eat clean. I'm like, I pretty much do too. So, like, afterwards, I'll probably eat some chicken and a salad or whatever.
You ever thought about food while you were getting penetrated?
No.
Oh, man. If Lila Lovely could chop it up with a known figure from another industry, who would that be and why? Take your time.
Okay, so there's another podcast that I love right now
Okay.
called I've Had It, and there's
Okay.
these two women. They're like in their like late 40s, maybe early 50s, and they've just like they gripe. And they gripe about shit that's going on,
Okay.
like in the world today, politically, and just
Okay.
like life gripes. And they make me feel less crazy as
Okay,
a
wait.
woman.
So
and
you-
just like I would love to like drink some wine and like have like a
and
gripe
gripe with them?
fest. Yes, that sounds like amazing. I would love that.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So there's not one particular person you would want to sit down and have a constructive conversation with. You're more about the vibe and what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah,
Got you. End goal for Lila Lovely.
Goal. I think there's a lot of opportunities right now. We've got AI. I feel like I could create like an AI version of Lila that could go on forever.
Well, your content's going to go on forever.
It will.
Well, what about, you ever thought about directing, anything that's not your cup of tea?
Sure, directing, something on the back end, even marketing. There's lots of options there. Yeah, I'll probably stay within it forever because I've invested this much time now. And I've gained a lot of knowledge doing it.
We have a new segment, and we're about to start that new segment, and I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's time to nip it in the bud
3,
on the Bougie Show.
It is time to nip it in the bud. What about the adult film industry does Lila Lovely feel needs to be nipped in the bud?
Like
If you got more than one, go ahead.
vulture agencies, these like OnlyFans agencies, and the girls that they have like doing the vulture work for them, it sucks. It's like,
When you mean by vulture, elaborate a little bit.
oh, so like if you do a post and you mention OnlyFans, it'll either be a bot advertising or another girl advertising under you, or I've had really big name performers DM me and want to like I'm sorry, like a Bella Danger trying to DM
Right,
me,
so
and I'm
you know,
like,
that
what
don't
is
make
she
any sense. What does she
DMing
want
me?
from
What
you?
is
Right.
Kasumi DMing me
Right.
for? And it's because of their agencies. So that just is just like this cringe, like ick feeling for sure.
Anything else needs to be nipped?
Oh gosh. I love OnlyFans, but I don't like the expectations of us having to be so hands-on with these guys all day long. I wish that could get nipped in the bud. I wish we could just be creators and put out the content and they can jerk off themselves without us holding their hands through it every day.
Meaning guiding them how to use the...
No, they will literally wait for me personally online on my account to help them work one out. And it's like, bro, that's what the content's there for, you know? Like, I get it. It's
they want
like,
engagement
it's a
with
little
you?
bit more intimate experience. But
they pay for that, right?
They do, and that's great, but it gets overwhelming.
Got it.
It gets overwhelming.
I can imagine. You said while you were saying, you know, these vultures and agencies, do you think agents are essentially pimps?
No, not necessarily.
No. Okay.
Yeah, there's value in some. There's some there is not value, and then they are more suitcase pimps.
Oh, how did I forget? Andy Avalon, a MILF performer in the West Coast, we had on the show. She tweeted the other day, it's crazy how some of the most popular performers are living in one-bedroom apartment, right? And she was watching the Money Shot Pornhub documentary on Netflix. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so and you saw the whole them having to remove all those videos because there was no human verification, things of that nature. And they make most of their money off advertisement. They don't actually make it off the content. Then I watched, with suggestion from Netflix, Hot Girls Wanted. Have you seen that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
And I'm just seeing that now, and wow, a lot ran through my mind. What do you think when you like just processing it from where we're at now, where the industry's at now, and what was going on? Like the one girl, she ended up going back home and she quit, but her videos did crazy numbers. What do you think about girls that come and go and not really know what they're signing for, but they're out there forever? What do you think about that? It is what it is?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's the internet. You can't play with the internet. What you put out there is out there.
But what about the delusional, like the one girl, she's like, I'm going to marry Drake and I'm going to be the P-star, and none of those things occurred. You know what I'm saying? And it's just fun because they're only 18, 19. They don't get grasp of what is actually happening.
Yeah, their brains are still forming.
Yeah, so
I mean, they're
exactly.
still young.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what you do is what you do. Again, you can't play with what you put out on the internet.
Yeah.
You have to take that seriously. And especially these kids that grew up with it, they know it more than we know.
Yes, and a lot of them, I noticed that even watching that documentary, what I took from it the most, those girls just want to get away from home. They want to go excitement. They grew up in these Midwest towns, and they know everybody's name on the block, and they want to go somewhere where they're free and it's different. And that's what I sense from that. Because I'm adamant and an advocate for it being 21, at least 20 or older. I just feel like 18 coming out of high school just not gonna work when you go in a room full of grown men.
That's tough for me. I don't shoot with any young girls.
Oh. You, no, not even like 21?
I have a young girl.
Oh, you have a daughter. I have a daughter myself.
I
Yes.
have a college.
Mine's just 19
age.
going to college.
So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like-
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
That's why I was supposed to interview a 21-year-old and she wasn't the most professional, but I was saying to the team, like, damn, man, I'm interviewing her and she's my daughter's age. You know what I'm saying?
it's
But
tough,
then I'm like,
but-
well, I see her with Johnny Sins. So I was like, I guess it ain't that bad to take a picture. But you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Lila Lovely joining us on the Bougie Show. We're going to start Moment of Truth. Moment of Truth is when I state things. If what I state is true, you say true. If it's false, you can say false and elaborate why. If it's something you choose not to answer, you can say pass.
Okay.
Cock slapping the kitty turns you on.
Yes.
Okay. Is it hard slaps or soft?
Both.
Okay. All right. Most of the time you want to go. So that's true. Most of the time you want to go home and sleep after a shoot.
Sleep or just like go home and get high and eat.
Oh, you smoke?
Oh yeah, all day.
Oh, okay. We'll applaud her. Weed smokers in the building.
Yeah.
I'll be smoking me 2 to 3 joints tonight myself. So do you roll out of papers? What do you do? Bong? What do you do?
Bong.
You know how to roll a joint?
If I really had to, but I just not my thing. Yeah.
When you cop OZs, a half ounce? What do you do?
An ounce.
Okay. You're a weed man. You getting it out of the dispensary or you got a weed man?
Weed man.
You You pay him in cash or Zelle?
Cash.
I'm just fucking with you. Son.
It's time to stop
If
the
I'm short, I'll
fuckery.
have to, do a little Zelle. But
You've been turned down by a man before.
yeah. Uh-huh.
True.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
You are selective when you were swallowing. You were selective.
Yes.
Okay. What makes you selective?
Just the vibe of the guy. They
what about
come
their
off
diet?
Like hygienic, they look clean.
Yeah, okay.
Like is everything like good? Then I'm like, all right, like
Okay.
you smell good, everything feels clean and good. Then yeah, I'll swallow it. But if it's questionable, no.
Okay. You did not watch adult films prior to joining the industry.
I did, but it wasn't like my main thing. Like it's not like I'd never seen one before, but
Right.
it wasn't
but
like
you,
what
you
I
didn't have a favorite performer. Okay, gotcha. So, off the clock, you are intimate with music playing in the background.
currently. Yes.
Yeah. What particular music? Like oldies, R&B? What are we doing?
So
Country?
my partner is
Okay.
really
Into music?
ass focused, so we watch like twerk videos or
Oh,
like
you're watching videos.
like
You're not listening-
YouTube, yeah,
okay,
music.
okay,
So maybe,
okay.
but I like Glorilla or like some Megan Thee
Oh, y'all be
Stallion.
trying to turn up.
like something like hot, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say freaking R. Kelly or some shit. She talking about Megan. Okay, all right. Oh, y'all be trying to turn up. Okay, got you. Woo. All right. The worst pipe you got came from a male performer and not a civilian.
Let me think for a second. No, I think civilian for sure.
Civilian for
Yeah.
sure. And what made it the worst?
Like small
Okay.
and just like underwhelming. Yeah.
Okay. Underwhelming. You couldn't find other ways to satisfy you?
It didn't.
gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to figure out which one I would have hit you with next. You should never want a man to kiss you right after he skeets off in your mouth. As a performer, I'm talking.
Yeah, I mean that would seem a little weird. Like he wants to like eat his cum too, or something like that. Like if I just ate his cum and he wants to kiss me, that seems a little bit weird.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a couple performers said they would feel offended because it's like be a freak. You don't feel that way. Because I'm not. I wouldn't.
I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go down on me and want to kiss me, that's cool.
Right.
But I don't know. There's something about that would be. I don't know.
I
I've never.
totally
I don't-
understand.
Yeah.
Totally understand. You're from the old school like me. Like certain things, you're just not doing all that
Yeah.
extra stuff. I got you. A male performer put you out of commission the next day after collaborating with them the day prior.
No.
Never been put out of commission. Even after Shane Diesel, you could
No.
go work with somebody the next day?
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite spot for the money shot is your breasts?
Yeah. Breasts. Usually breasts, face, or ass.
Okay. You are very innocent off camera. We already confirmed this. 18 is too young to be an adult performer. That is, you agree, true or no?
I don't want to say like a hard like that's too young,
Right.
but like for my comfort level, I wouldn't feel comfortable working with an 18-year-old.
Your daughter know who you are?
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with her? What age did you have that conversation with? What age was she when you had that conversation with her?
Well, she was 12 when I started, so it was a gradual conversation, and she was at an age where Snapchat was very popular.
Okay.
And she got some images thrown in her face.
Oh, so people knew.
Boys find out, of course.
How did they know you
your
were
mom-
related to her? She had pictures of you and her mommy on social media. How did
They
connection
just
get put?
figured.
know.
Well, no, here it is, because one of the dads I was cool with, and I, let him know what's going on. Of course, they all talk.
Told everybody.
And then
So when you had that conversation, or just out of curiosity, was it? You said gradually
we gradually had the conversation, and then like that happened, and it was like it was like
So you had to. The elephant was in the room at that time.
yeah, and
Okay.
she was like, "You got to take everything down." Oh my god! And I was like,
You can't.
I can't.
It's already- it's
all.
already up to
What's done is
zillion-
done.
yeah.
Yeah. So we just had to like work through it, and just maturity and just years and just. Different
Yeah, no,
things.
I get it.
Yeah. being
Most of the ones I
respectful.
interview now, their kids are too young and they haven't gotten to that moment. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping
yeah.
that when their time comes, they see, they can look at this video and figure out how to approach it.
Right.
You've had a male performer take way too long to finish during a scene.
Yeah.
And what caused that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't necessarily take it personally. I think, a lot of these guys are on Viagra or shooting up, their dick or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So I know that affects it. And they're shooting a lot,
Yeah.
There's so many things. So I really don't
factor
like.
in.
Yeah, I try not to get too frustrated.
Yeah. You zero tolerance for a man that can't gather an erection on set.
I mean, if it's getting to the point where nothing's really happening, we're gonna have to make an executive decision at some point here.
I feel you.
You know?
Well, you kind of spoke about this. So I guess I got the answer. You would encourage your daughter not to join the adult film industry.
Yeah, no. I mean, if she wanted to,
Right.
sure, but I wouldn't be like, this is it.
This is it. Okay, that's real. I respect that. If a man wants you to peg his behind from behind, he's fruity with his booty.
I've been asked so many times. I am considering doing that this year, but I'm a little afraid if I do it, I'm gonna open up Pandora. They're all gonna want me to do that to them, and it's
Right.
gonna become a thing. So I'm thinking about it because I've been doing a lot of these evolved fight scenes, and I could possibly peg somebody if I win a scene against a submissive man. Yeah.
If you were dating a man and they asked you to do that, would you feel like they have sugar in the tank?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No.
Okay.
No, because really, men do come from
Yes.
that stimulation, so no judgment.
You have gotten burned as a performer, meaning gonorrhea, chlamydia, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay. You sometimes think to yourself, I wonder how all this is going to play out.
Yeah, always.
So that's true. Last but not least, you don't trust someone who owns a snake.
No, false.
Okay. Miss Lila Lovely, it was a pleasure interview. Great interview. I want, the floor is yours. That's your camera. Can you let the audience know what to expect from you this year, and something rare about yourself?
Okay. You can expect some more great hardcore scenes coming out. I just released one with Will Tile, the Massage Mister. It's an amazing scene. I'll be doing quarterly boy-girl scenes this year. I started up a YouTube page, so check out my channel there. I'm going to be focusing a lot more on my safer work content that will all just kind of coordinate with my content over on my OF. OF is really my priority, so I hope you guys join. It's onlylila.com.
And something rare about yourself?
Oh, something rare. I can still lactate.
Okay. The one and only Lila Lovely. I hope you guys are satisfied with the interview. I know you've been requesting for her to join for some wow. Great job, lady. And I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And you ready to go take some pictures and feed me some grapes?
Let's do it.
It's all right. Lila Lovely in the building, y'all. We are checking out Bougie Show.
It's the Bougie Show with Zay the DJ.
Great job. Great job. Ooh, look who's coming through. 24-hour Pixels is going to love this. Miss Catalina Kyle.
Hey, yo, Zay, Oliver Coach just DM'd the show, saying he wants to do corner.
Hey, let's stop the fuckery. Come on, let's do this.
Hello, Bougie guys and girls. This is a public service announcement for the world. This is what they've been waiting for, and now it's available to be delivered to your front door. The Bougie Show merch is here and going nowhere. Available for pre-order, the Bougie Show hats, hoodies, sweaters, t-shirts, and much more. We also have our branded signature slogans like
Stop the fuckery.
And of course, we got to represent for those that don't got all their marbles up top. You know they straight fried, y'all. And last but not least, we got to represent for the freaks.
In the building.
All merchandise available now on bougieshow.com. Holla at a player, y'all. You know what time it is. Yay!